Okay, I've been getting a lot of comments, asking how my dad is. And I did a community post a few weeks ago. I'm looking at the date, today's 25th. It's been about 2 weeks. My father did pass away on April 10th. So I realized, I guess not everybody saw that community post. So here's a little video on it. Like I said, it's been 2 weeks now. We've been very busy taking care of things. You figure out when someone passes away what you hadn't prepared, planned for, what wasn't taken care of. So we've been dealing with all that kind of things. Some of his cars were, in his and my mom's name. Some were just in his name. So we got to take care of some of that stuff. The house, figure out what's going on with it. Just a whole lot of things going on. So backtrack. A little over 2 weeks ago. I don't remember exactly the last video I did, what his condition was. I guess I could, let me look here real quick. I don't know if you can hear Gideon. He's running around, going crazy right now. Surprised he isn't up here. So I guess I did a video 2 weeks ago about his pancreatic cancer. But I don't know if that was, I don't know exactly when that, obviously it was before he passed away. Things went really quick there at the end. I think I had taken him into the ER, I believe, at that point. If I hadn't, that's what happened. I'm trying to think his condition. He'd get to the point he hadn't been eating, for a very long time. When we were in Florida, he came back from Florida in March. His eating, he was eating then, but not as much as he normally would. On the way back, because we drove, I'd order food from fast food, and he'd be like, "I'm not hungry. I don't want anything." So it was seeming weird, and it slowly got worse and worse and worse. And towards the end there, those last several weeks, he wasn't eating anything, and that last, I don't know if it was a week or several days, he stopped drinking water. So we took him into the ER, and they had set us up with hospice. They came and visited with us, and he stayed. I'm trying to think if he was there 2 nights, 1 or 2 nights there in the ER. And hospice came and set up a bed, kind of like what I have here, what I'm sitting on, a hospital bed in my parents' house, in the living room there. Then they transferred him back to the house via an ambulance. And gosh, I'm trying to think. Yeah, so he came back. I don't know the dates. Say he came back, I think we took him to the hospital on Sunday. So he came back, whatever day it was. Came back in the afternoon. That day, in hospice, came out a couple different people. He was, I wouldn't say, not so much that he wasn't responsive. Yes and no. He did at one point say my son's name. He's standing in the corner of the room, and he said Brett. Other than that, he didn't say much. He was moving a lot, finicky, pulling covers off him. Wanted to lay on his side. And then the next day, the next morning, completely changed. From, moving all around, finicky, pulling, like I said, pulling the covers and everything, to just literally laying in one spot, not moving. The nurse for hospice came that morning and met with us, and, kind of went over the plan, what to expect over the next few days, or, how often people were going to come by and stuff. And she checked on him more, and she came up to me and was like, "I don't think he's going to make it through the night." I was like, "Really?" Clearly she's done this many times and sees people's condition. I think she could just tell by the way he was that he wasn't going to make it through the night. So it's like, okay. So they basically told us everything, this is what you do. You call us, don't call 911. trying to, everything like that. They did tell us, you don't need to call us right away. Take your, when it happens, take your time. When you're ready, give us a call. Just don't wait any, don't go like it, over 2 hours or so, but, take your time to mourn and whatever before you call them. So, not luckily, but everybody, all the family members, cousins, aunts, uncles, everybody was there. Everybody came over that day. We're all there through the evening. Everyone except my brother from Vegas. Obviously, we didn't know, we've been in touch almost every day, and he's been trying to get plane tickets to come and trying to figure out when to come. And I think he bought that ticket that day. We told him, listen, it's going to be within the next few days. You need to get here. So unfortunately, he wasn't coming. He didn't make it in time. He came the next day. But other than that, everyone was there in the room with him when he passed. He did make one comment that day. Like I said, he really wasn't responsive. They went over for me to give him morphine and some other medication. The morphine for the pain and some other medication was because he was so, fidgeting so much, trying to take everything off him. So they gave me something for that too. So, so I was giving him those, and the nurse in the morning, I gave him one dose the night before, and she was looking at him, and she's going over his facial expressions. She's like, that's pain, so we need to increase. So we increased it that day, and there was a point where I gave him, I think, his first big dose of morphine, and, we're sitting there an hour or so later. It's I don't know if it's working enough. Maybe he needs another dose sooner. And, he looked directly at me and was no. Other than that, he did get more later on. But, yeah, he made that comment at that time. I think maybe being his first dose, I know when I take the morphine, I don't take it much. I haven't taken it in a long time, but when I had those tumors in my back and it was really bad, if I go periods of time where I don't take morphine and then I take it, that first pill, man, it really makes you lightheaded and kind of weird feelings. I think that's what he was going through. He probably didn't like that. But yeah, so it was, I think, 9 o'clock at night when he did pass. And they told us, the sign, things, the steps that are going to take place, where they're, his breathing was really rapid, and they're it's going to go to the point where there's going to be pauses. They're going to stop breathing for a while and then start breathing again. And they didn't specify how long that goes, that process. But yeah, that kind of, I was the only one there when the nurse told me that. And so when he first did that, where he stopped breathing, there was a lot of panic. Everyone's telling me he passed. I'm just give it a few seconds. And then he started breathing again. But by the time he only did it twice. So there was 20 minutes or so of regular breathing. And then his pausing again. And then that's when he passed. So at least everybody was there with him. Like I said, pretty much the entire family, friends, his dog, Mango, was right there. She could tell, say this is his bed. We were sitting where you are on a couch, most of us, or a lot of them, Mango was there on the couch and stuff. And you could tell she was sad. And after he passed, she kind of sat there and would peek up at him. And she still, because my mom's in the house by herself now, tries to get the dog to sleep in the room with her, but she won't. The dog stays out on that couch in that room. So yeah. So going through a lot. That's why I haven't posted, obviously, in a couple weeks. But I would say to anyone that's, even if you don't think yourself, your parents or whatever, anything's going to happen anytime soon, just be prepared. Have wills, have everything in multiple people's names. So, luckily, her name is on the house and stuff. So, and we've gone to the lawyer now and gotten my name and my two brothers' names on the house too. So if she happened to pass anytime soon, that house isn't going to go into probate. So it'll just pass on to us. So just make sure you have everything taken care of. And not just that kind of stuff. He has a motorhome, a camping RV, a pontoon boat, and a couple cars, and a Sea-Doo. So because they were going to sell the motorhome, they bought an RV. They wanted, a trailer instead. But he kind of got around to selling the motorhome. So now we have all those. But the problem is they're all winterized. I've never watched him. I've never seen how he winterizes anything. I've never seen how he de-winterizes them. I'm thinking I'm just going to try to sell the boat. And my mom wants to keep the motorhome. Sell the boat, sell the trailer. I think we're going to give the Sea-Doo to my son. But the trailer and the boat, I'm just going to sell and be like, hey, they're winterized. You're just going to have to de-winterize them. The motorhome, I'm going to have to figure out. I'm sure I can watch a YouTube video or something on how you do that. I'm going to have to watch a YouTube video on, because obviously I'm going to have to drive. I've drove motorhomes before. That's not a big deal. But I'm going to have to figure out and watch a video on how to empty the septic tank on it and fill it with water. You know, all the stuff that I never done. I've just showed up at the campground and camped in the motorhome. I've never done all the little dirty details, so that kind of stuff I wish, and I had made a comment when we first found out he had cancer. I'm like, oh, because we thought we had anywhere from 3 to 8 months, not, from the time we found out, 2 weeks. So I made a comment to him like, hey, this summer, after you do some of your treatments and stuff and you on your feet a little better, you need to show me everything about the motorhome, how to do it, but we never got a chance. So I'm sure I'll figure it out. But those are the little things that you just wish you had, or he had wrote down, like, these are the step-by-step instructions. So just a heads up, maybe if you have kids or your parents, figure these things out ahead of time before it's too late, because you don't realize all the little stuff, like, oh shoot, finding all the different paperwork that you need and everything. Where was it stored? And so most of it's all taken care of now. So things are getting somewhat back to normal a little bit. So hopefully back to making more videos again, because it's been a while. I know there's a lot of people are like, well, you don't need to make the videos. Well, these videos are a source of income for me too. I don't make, I'm on disability. I don't have much income. So, and for those of you, if you know anything about disability, it's not much. You can't make much on disability. So I don't make much on YouTube. I make a little bit, but every little bit helps. So when I don't make videos, that little bit starts going down, then it's, so I do have to still make videos from time to time. So that is the update. I wish I had better news, but that's life, I guess. Other than that, I'm doing okay. They did put me on a new Revlimid generic. I can't think of the name, and I think that's been affecting me, and I'm probably gasping for air a lot in this video, is I seem like I'm way more winded and tired than I normally am. And I'm assuming it's just the side effects of this medication I'm taking, because I haven't been working out or, lifting a little bit of weights that I usually do. And just walking around, I'm just like huffing and puffing. So hopefully when I see my doctor, and I'm sure my insurance company probably won't pay for Revlimid. I don't know if I tell them I'm having worse side effects with this generic than I did with a regular one, if they would pay for it. It'd be nice to get back to the way I was. Well, here's Gideon. It's been a while. His little boots with the fur where he had it shaved here, growing in. You can barely tell now. I think his tummy's still a little bare, isn't it? Just a little bit. All right. So there you go. Crappy news. But hopefully next time we talk, things will be a little better. I'll see you guys soon.